Hello and welcome in. My name is DrumRollTony. I'm a streamer on Twitch, but in this channel we do reaction videos, and I'm very excited for this video because we're finally getting to the drum playthrough of Polyphia's Playing God, Clay Aeschliman. If I said his last name wrong, I apologize. I only know 2 of their songs so far. I'm a big fan, though, of his playing. I think he's a great player. I think he uses time and space very wisely, and all those triplet rhythms just melt my mind every time. So I did find something cool about him that I read, and I want to share it with you because this is awesome. So I found a cool article in Modern Drummer with some information about Clay that I think is awesome because I'm such a big drumline guy. Anyway, this is what he says. He says, "Hi, my name is Clay Aeschliman. I've been playing drums for Polyphia for 2.5 years now." I assume this is older because I feel like the band's a lot older than that. Anyway, I got my start drumming in high school where I marched quads for 3 years. I was fortunate enough to go to a very competitive high school, so drumlines were taken very seriously. I also played tons of sports. My experience with drums didn't really go beyond that of drumline. I was never in bands and always thought I had a passion for music. I never imagined that it would be my career. After high school, I attended college and pursued a degree in logistics and pretty much didn't touch a pair of sticks for the better part of 5 years. It wasn't until after I graduated and had a corporate job for 2 years that I picked up the kit. I quit my corporate job, which I hated, and started practicing 6 to 8 hours a day and joined some local bands to gain some experience. I was 25 years old when I played my first show. I fell in love, and ever since drums have been my main focus. That is so awesome. It was so cool to hear. It's from a competitive drumline setting, which you mean competitive drumlines, you learn a lot. You learn a lot about rudimental drumming and just kind of like the whole drum culture, drumline culture in general. But it kind of makes sense with the rhythms I've been hearing and that he was a quad player. So this was really fun for me to read. Anyway, let's get on to the song. All right, here we go. The little paradiddle diddle stuff right there. Okay, so much control and just the epic use. I mean, we've heard it. We've heard the main song a million times, but the top-down camera is really nice to see all the hi-hat cam with the little splashes going on. I just want to go back and see the intro again. This is this is really exciting and super fun. So I'm just gonna go back. I just want to experience all this again. We're going right. This is about the end of the guitar intro, I think. Almost. I really love the way he captures onto those quarter note triplets. It's just so nice to see. This view is just crucial, I think. I mean, obviously it's pretty normal for drum playthroughs to include this. It's just like super helpful, especially if you're like transcribing this and you want to see a couple things. It's good stuff. Listen to that entrance. So we hear the guitar play all those moving notes, those 16 notes, and he just waits and gives it space and then enters like almost in the middle of that phrase. So he waits a bar and comes in and beat 2 of where that phrase lines up. That's awesome. All these 5-stroke rolls, and then follow up with those moving notes right there. That's really, really nice. You know, we got to see the connection of that, of the paradiddle diddle notes here. Listen to the control as we move away from the hi-hat over to the ride, still with the same diddle sequence though. That's beautiful playing. Hold on, I just want to see this. Was this a buzz roll into the bell hit or a 5-stroke roll into the bell hit? 5, okay, cool. The connection of these two here are so important. How we flow on to the splash here, to this here, like this being the main voice, even though it's still sporadic and not overused. Like, I wonder how long it took to develop that kind of taste to be able to be like, I'm gonna play super like spicy, but yet not too spicy, if that makes sense. I feel like that was the first time we heard ghost notes in there. That was there. Wow. All right, so I feel like we have like some flam accents in there, a ton of 5-stroke roll stuff, and then just straight up double strokes. Like it, the first time I heard them, I was like, "There's a reason it's calling me to me so much," because like. I'm not a very good drum set player because I try to do drumline things on a drum set and it doesn't work out. You can always tell a drumline person when they get on the kit because it just has that field sound. You're like, yeah, we always try to play way too many notes on the snare and like, oh, look, I can play flam drags and flam fives. Like no one gives a shit. But this though, this is like taking the cool stuff you learned from that world and obviously years and years of shredding on a kit and taking some of those great elements and then making them work really, really well around the drums. So that all that phrasing we just heard between both large cymbals and encompassing these small cymbal sounds too. We just need to go back and appreciate that. No, back further. I'm sorry, what? Dude, the flav accents into that 5 into the belly, it's just so clean. It's just so clean. Yeah, look at the way he holds the drumstick. Like a lot, like when we were watching like a lot of other bands like Ginger stuff, I always talk about like the open, sorry, where's my camera? Open fulcrum and like very, very relaxed, But here we just have a pretty normal, like, not super tight, but not like loose grip, which, I'm way more familiar with that. And it's just kind of cool to see, on the kit too. Here we go. I just want to hear the timbre difference between this and this. Let me just go back 5. A little resonation on the second. I talked about this part several times on the main playthrough because I love it so much. Little reggaeton. I didn't catch where the bass drum fills were that, or the hits were that the first time, so this is a little bit easier to watch. 4-1. And then the 1 EN, 2 EN, 3 EN, 4 EN. That split between those two plates is really, really nice. Before we get into this, man, Evan's heads sound so good. I've liked Evan's heads for a long time right now. That sentence that makes sense right now. Right now I can say that I've liked Evan's heads for a while when they're tuned like this because it's just really, really nice sounds. Go back 15 just to get into this and we'll get into the little feature that we know is coming. Yeah. Or go back 10. We need to hear all that again. That's such great solo design coming into that from our, even numbers into our triplet numbers, from however you want to feel that, whether you're feeling that as 16ths and the sextuplets or like 8ths and 8ths and triplets, whatever your pulse on that, it's still a plateau gear shift of, 2 to 3. Let me just go back one more time. Did you hear how well it lines up right here with da ba da on the guitar? So nice. Beautiful playing. Dude. Okay, that whole time the guitar is an onslaught of notes. Everything that's going on. What so many people would do right there, be like, oh, I hear that. Let me jump in and just cloud it up. And we get so muddy. It's super tasting and like high skill playing with how to make that still sound amazing, to find your fills, to not step on the guitar player, right? So Tim still has the ability to play what he's playing there. And oh, sorry, there is more than one guitarist. But then the bass player is like even more pulled back. We've got like some really long notes. I just want to go back 15 and kind of hear the big chunk of that phrase again, and then we'll let it play on. But I am so impressed. I would fall into the trap. I'd be like, oh, I got to put notes. Here we go. I would just ruin it. This is just so nice to hear. Oh man, let's hear the phrase out of there again. Nice hairtus. It's like such a drumline people. We always play that shit. Like it's just nonstop. I can totally see it now. Now that I have that information, it just makes watching him play a lot more enjoyable. I feel like there's no more parts because we have our whistle melody here. Great composition though. So I mean, I guess my biggest takeaway with that is the ability to, just kind of what we just said about having so much to say and knowing how to say it and not saying too much of it and being articulate and appropriate. Being a bass player too, one of my, biggest annoyances when they go to take a bass solo, like I say, if it's like a straight head jazz setting, you're playing and then the drummer is like, yeah, let me just go with you. And let's just start at a 10, it's just super frustrating because there's nowhere. The music has to grow. There has to be an ebb and flow, and and a soloist voice has to be there. So the point I bring that up is because we heard Tim playing that super complicated whatever's hammer on, pull on. I don't remember what's going on right there, but it's very involved. And Clay takes the rhythms and puts a ton of them on the hi-hat, which the timbre cuts, right? It's not invasive, and especially since that guitar part is finesse, it's cat-like, it's like a high dexterity. There's a lot of movement going on, so his playing is not super dominant and not using a bunch of tom fills, and because he obviously has a skill set and ability to completely go crazy there, but he just chooses not to and plays something really tasty instead. So that for me is why I'm holding him in such a high regard of being a great musician. So anyway, thank you so much for the recommendation to watch the drum playthrough. This is going to be added to my my list that keeps getting bigger and bigger from all the stuff that we do in this channel. So anyway, thank you so much. I appreciate it. My name is DrumRollTony. I'm a streamer on Twitch. Catch me when I'm live so we can talk about Clay. We can talk about Polyphia. We can talk about video games, whatever you want. You can find a link to my channel in the video description below, as well as my Discord link. Would love to have you there also. We're just missing one thing. We are just missing, what is it? Oh yeah, it's you. We are missing you. Come over and join that, please, and thank you. All right. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so you can catch my next upload. Thank you so much for watching. You're awesome. I appreciate you. I'll see you the next time. All right. Bye-bye.